Are you ready to relive the same nightmare twice? In just 48 hours, the Boston Celtics, the Eastern Conference favorites, just blew another 20-point lead against the Knicks. And once again, on the final play, the ball slipped out of Jayson Tatum's hands. Coincidence? Not when it happens back-to-back with the same ball thief, Mikal Bridges. But hold on, this isn't just about a steal or a collapse. It's about a team that seems to be melting down right when it needs to show strength. And now, down 0-2 in the series with 2 games coming up in New York, the scent of an early exit is starting to creep in. And what if I told you the problem might be way bigger than it looks? Stick with me. The rabbit hole goes deeper, and there's a lot the media still isn't telling you. What's going on with Tatum? Jayson Tatum became the face of the franchise, a top 5 player in the league, one of the most gifted talents in the NBA. But how do you explain just 36 points across 2 full playoff games, shooting 12 for 42 from the field? For context, Josh Hart, who isn't even the Knicks' first, second, or third scoring option, dropped 23 points in Game 2 alone and is shooting better than the entire Celtics roster. Tatum made just 1 field goal in regulation during Game 2, a dunk in the final seconds, when the damage was already done. So is this just a slump, or is Boston trying to force a leadership role that just isn't there? Joe Mazzula tried to soften the blow, saying Tatum just missed some good looks. But when your franchise player disappears in crunch time, there's no sugarcoating it. And worse, this isn't an isolated incident. It's a pattern. Is the coach the problem? Joe Mazzula came in under pressure from day one. When the Celtics fired Ime Udoka, Mazzula stepped in with 0 playoff experience. 2 years later, he still looks lost when it's time to make adjustments. In Game 1, Boston took 58 threes and missed 45, a franchise lowlight. In Game 2, they missed fewer, but only because they shot fewer. Then came the other extreme, a lack of aggression. The team always seems one step behind the Knicks' defensive switches. And when the offense stalls, Mazzula shows no backup plan, just yells from the sideline and prays for a bailout 3, which raises the question nobody wants to ask. Does he really have the locker room? Or are the players just going through the motions, hoping raw talent saves the day? Because right now only one coach looks like he has a game plan, and that's Tom Thibodeau. And it's making all the difference. Is Boston really ready to be champion? That's the question haunting every Celtics fan right now. Because when it comes to individual talent, the Celtics have plenty. But do they have a champion's mentality? 2 games, 2 massive leads thrown away, 2 late-game meltdowns. Jaylen Brown lost the crucial possession in Game 1. Tatum did the same in Game 2. Coincidence or a symptom? And keep in mind, they're not even facing Giannis, Embiid, or Jimmy Butler. These are the Knicks. Gritty, well-coached, but far from a super team. And yet, they're outplaying Boston in the area that matters most: consistency. Karl Anthony Towns, who just arrived, already understands the system and dominated the paint. Josh Hart has turned into a two-way beast. Meanwhile, the Celtics look like a Formula 1 car without a steering wheel. Fast, yes, but they spin out every time the road curves. So what now? Can they turn this around? Coming back from a 0-2 hole isn't impossible, but it takes maturity, focus, and that killer instinct. And the Celtics need all 3, urgently. The next 2 games are in New York, at Madison Square Garden, one of the loudest, most hostile arenas in the NBA. And with Knicks fans in full playoff frenzy, the pressure's about to triple. Will Tatum respond? Will Mazzula break the script and try something new? Or is this team just going to keep relying on Peyton Pritchard's threes while slowly sinking? This series could change everything. An early elimination might not only cost the coach's job, it could even break up the Tatum and Brown duo. And let me tell you, there are GMs around the league watching this closely. The Celtics' title window may not be as open as it looks. One more slip, and it shuts for good. Hook for the next video. The Celtics are on the verge of a historic collapse, and no one can hide it anymore. 2 meltdowns, 2 crushing losses, and a road trip that could seal the fate of an entire era. But here's the real question. Was this generation ever built to win? Or are we watching another case of elite talent wasted by bad decisions? Let me know in the comments. who's really to blame for this mess? Tatum, Mazzula, Brown, or the entire system? And don't forget to subscribe, because in the next video we're breaking down exactly why the Knicks are becoming one of the most dangerous teams in the postseason. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. What happens when the best team of the season collapses at home twice in a row? The Boston Celtics, owners of the league's best record, blew not one, but two 20-point leads against the New York Knicks. And the worst part? It all happened at TD Garden, with their fans watching a nightmare unfold in real time. This isn't just about a playoff series, it's about the image of a franchise that looked unbeatable, but is now bleeding, and bleeding, badly. Something is seriously wrong in Boston, and behind the box scores, there's a financial ticking time bomb, a key big man breaking down at the worst possible time, and a championship window that could shut sooner than expected. Stick around, because what's at stake here goes far beyond the next two games at Madison Square Garden. What went wrong in the collapses? How does a team blow a 20-point lead twice? The answer is uncomfortable: lack of control, poor shooting, and a defense that vanishes when it matters most. Boston held comfortable leads in both games, but got swallowed in the fourth quarter by a Knicks squad that played tougher, grittier, and hungrier. Right there in the Garden, the Celtics froze. What we saw were mental and tactical meltdowns. The offense stopped moving, the threes turned into bricks, and the defense, well, it disappeared. Joe Mazzulla's team missed 45 three-point attempts in Game 1. Even after adjusting in Game 2, the issues remained: bad decisions, stagnant ball movement, and a clearly ailing Kristaps Porzingis. Cliffhanger: what if the problem runs deeper than tactics or talent? Is Porzingis reliable for the future? Can you really count on Porzingis for a full playoff run? The Latvian big man was brought in to be the missing piece, and for most of the season, he was. But come playoff time, once again, his body failed him. He's been dealing with an illness that affected his performance in the first two games. And Boston felt the impact. Without him, 38-year-old Al Horford was forced into the starting role, and while he's a warrior, you can't expect heavy minutes from a veteran at that age. The bigger issue, Porzingis' situation, exposes a major dilemma. He still has 1 year left on his deal, worth over $30 million. That's a steep price for a player who can't stay healthy when it matters most. So, what should Boston do? Ride it out? Or trade high while they still can? Who's out this summer, Porzingis or another core piece? Boston is going to have to let someone go, and fast. The NBA's new collective bargaining agreement will hit teams that go over the salary cap hard, and the Celtics are dangerously close to that line. The math doesn't work when Tatum, Brown, White, Holiday, and Porzingis are all making big money. A lot of people thought Drew would be the one sacrificed, due to age and trade value, but now, with fresh concerns about Porzingis' durability, that script might flip. Is it worth holding on to a talented big who can't stay healthy? Or is it smarter to clear space, find a more reliable frontcourt piece, and rebalance the cap sheet? And here's the tense part: any move now will directly affect what Tatum and Brown decide to do in the coming years. The risk of internal fractures isn't zero, and Boston knows it. Can this season still be saved? Can you come back from a 0-2 hole against the Knicks? Historically, yes. Emotionally, that's a different story. This Celtics team looks shaken. The Madison Square Garden crowd is going to be on fire. Tatum has to step up like a true superstar. There's no more hiding in big games. And Mazzula needs to prove he's more than just a regular season coach. This series can still flip. But Boston can't afford another mistake. There's no margin left for a collapse. And even if they pull off the comeback, the damage behind the scenes is already done. The offseason is going to bring tough questions. The title window is still open, but it might already be cracked. And if the front office gets the next move wrong, this era could end without a ring. The real question: who's bold enough to move the right piece? Boston has reached a breaking point. Losing a series to the Knicks is one thing, but losing your identity and the locker room's trust is something far more dangerous. The series goes on, but it feels like Boston is already playing against the clock of its own legacy. So what would you do? Keep Porzingis and risk Another postseason without him? Or make the move now, even if it risks blowing up the core? Drop your take in the comments and hit that subscribe button, because in the next video, we're breaking down who could be the perfect big man to replace Porzingis in Boston. And no, it's not who you think.